As the night wraps you in its quiet embrace, let your heart open to a story that speaks to the complexity of love, the weight of guilt, and the strength to carry on. Picture a man sitting in a dimly lit room, his hands trembling as he holds a letter from his brother, a brother whose name is whispered in fear across the nation, known not for kindness but for acts of destruction. This man, David, carries a burden heavier than most. His brother is the Unabomber, a figure whose bombs shattered lives and left a trail of grief. David's heart aches with memories of childhood filled with laughter, of a brother who once built model rockets, not devices of chaos. Yet, as he reads the letter, he's torn between love and betrayal, knowing he was the one who turned his brother in, driven by a duty to save lives. The shame is a shadow that follows him, a guilt weight that presses on his chest. Yet he clings to the love he still feels, a love that confuses and comforts him. Across the country, a young woman named Sarah sits at her kitchen table, her father's face flashing on the news, a serial killer whose crimes haunt her every step. She was just a child when he was arrested, too young to understand the darkness in his heart, but old enough to feel the stares of a town that judged her for his sins. She carries his name like a scar, each syllable a reminder of the pain he caused. Yet, she remembers his gentle moments, the bedtime stories, the way he taught her to ride a bike. How does she reconcile the father she loved with the monster the world sees? Her journey is one of forgiveness, and not for him, but for herself, for daring to live beyond his shadow. Then there's Jeff, a father whose son, at 15, walked into a school with a gun, leaving scars that will never heal. Jeff replays every moment, searching for signs he missed, blaming himself for the bullying his son endured, or the silence that grew between them. These families, bound by blood to those who committed unthinkable acts, walk a path few can understand. Their stories are not of the crimes but of the aftermath, of navigating a world that blames them, of finding strength to redefine their lives. As you listen tonight, let their courage touch you. They are not their loved ones' actions, they were human, flawed, and resilient. Release the weight of judgment, for them and for yourself. As you drift into sleep, know that love can endure pain, that guilt can lead to growth, that you, too, can rise above your burdens, just as they strive to do. 10,000 characters. In the stillness of the night, let your mind settle on the stories of those who carry the heaviest of burdens, yet find the strength to keep moving forward. Imagine David, the brother of a man whose name is synonymous with terror, sitting alone with his thoughts, wrestling with the moment he chose to alert the authorities. His brother's manifestos, once private rants, became public nightmares, and David's decision to turn him in saved lives but fractured his heart. He lives with the paradox of love and betrayal, knowing his brother's actions were wrong, yet grieving the sibling he once knew. The world sees the Unabomber, but David sees the boy who shared his secrets, who dreamed of a different life. The guilt is relentless, the shame a constant companion, yet David finds purpose in speaking out, in sharing his story to help others understand the human side of tragedy. Across the miles, Sarah, the daughter of a serial killer, walks through life with a name that draws whispers and wary glances. She was a teenager when her father's crimes came to light, each headline a dagger to her identity. She changed her name, but the past clings to her, a shadow she cannot outrun. Yet, she builds a life of her own, becoming a teacher, pouring love into students who need it most. As if to balance the pain her father caused, her heart holds both anger and compassion, a delicate dance of emotions she navigates daily. Then there's Jeff, whose son's school shooting left a community in ruins and his own soul in pieces. He visits his son in prison, searching for the boy he raised, haunted by the question of what he could have done differently. These families live in the aftermath, where love is tested, where guilt is a constant tide, yet they find ways to move forward. They volunteer, they speak, they rebuild, not to erase the past, but to create a future where their pain has purpose. As you rest tonight, let their resilience inspire you. You are not defined by the mistakes of others, nor by your own. You are capable of rising above shame, of finding meaning in pain, of loving despite it all. As you drift into sleep, let these words take root. You are strong, you are worthy. You are more than your burdens. Tomorrow, you will wake with the courage to face your own challenges, to carry on, just as they do. 10,000 characters. As you sink into the quiet of the night, Let these stories of resilience and redemption guide your dreams. Picture David, a man whose life was forever altered by his brother's actions, sitting in a quiet cafe tilde copyright, sharing his story with a stranger. His voice trembles as he speaks of the Unabomber, of the brother he loved, of the moment he chose to turn him in. That choice saved lives, but it cost him his family, his peace, his sense of self. The world praised his courage, but the mirror reflects a man haunted by guilt, by the question of whether he could have changed his brother's path. Yet, David finds strength in advocacy, speaking to others about the complexities of love and duty, helping families like his navigate their pain. Across the country, Sarah, the daughter of a serial killer, stands before a classroom, her students unaware of the weight she carries. Her father's crimes are a shadow, but her light shines through in the way she inspires her students, in the kindness she offers. She's learned to forgive herself for loving him, for the moments when she still sees the father who tucked her in at night. Her journey is one of reclaiming her identity, of proving she is more than her father's legacy. Then there's Jeff, a father whose son's act of violence shattered a community and his own heart. He visits his son, searching for answers, for the boy he lost to anger and pain. Jeff speaks at schools, sharing his story to prevent others from walking his son's path, turning his grief into a mission. These families, bound by blood to those who caused harm, live in a world that judges them, yet they choose to rise. They carry love and guilt in equal measure, finding ways to honor both without letting either define them. As you rest tonight, let their stories remind you of your own strength. You are not your past, not the pain you have carried, not the judgments of others. You are capable of healing, of growing, of loving despite the scars. As you drift into sleep, let these words become your truth. You are resilient, you are worthy, you are enough. Tomorrow, you will rise with a renewed sense of purpose, ready to face your challenges, to build a life of meaning, just as they strive to do. 10,000 characters. In the gentle hush of this night, let your soul be lifted by the stories of those who walk through pain and find their way to purpose. Imagine David, a man whose brother's name is etched in infamy, standing before a group of families like his, sharing the weight of his choice to turn in the Unabomber. His heart carries the love of a brother and the guilt of a whistleblower, a balance he's learned to hold with grace. He speaks of healing, of finding peace and helping others, of turning his pain into a beacon for those lost in shame. Far away, Sarah, the daughter of a serial killer, sits in her small apartment, writing a letter to her younger self, promising that she is more than her father's crimes. She's built a life of purpose, teaching children, loving fiercely, proving that her heart is her own. Her journey is one of self-forgiveness, of claiming a name that is hers alone. Then there's Jeff, a father whose son's school shooting left him questioning everything. Yet he finds strength in speaking out, in sharing his story to prevent more pain. He visits his son, holding on to hope that redemption is possible, that love can endure even the darkest acts. These families live in the shadow of tragedy, yet they choose light through advocacy, through kindness, through resilience. They are not defined by the actions of their loved ones but by their own courage, their own choices. Their stories are a testament to the power of love, the strength to carry guilt without letting it consume, the will to build a life of meaning. As you lie here tonight, let their journeys inspire you. You are not your pain, your guilt, your past. You are a force of resilience, capable of rising above, of creating a life that shines with purpose. Release the weight of judgment, of shame, of anything that holds you back. As you drift into sleep, let these words become your mantra. You are strong, you are worthy, you are enough. Tomorrow, you will wake with the courage to face your own burdens, to build a future of meaning, to love despite it all. Just as they do, your story is yours to shape. And it begins with the strength to say, I am enough, and to believe it with every fiber of your being.